Hello, welcome back to another pen talk. And I appreciate all of you that join me in my exploration of the incredible, amazing, wide world of pens that we are grateful to be part of. And yes, this is a pen that I did an unboxing video on, and I felt it deserved to be on a rotating turntable held up by a kitty. Hello, kitty. And my pen friends have gathered around to also look at this pen because they like it too. It's a big pen, needed a suitable pen rest to put it on this rotating turntable. So let's explore this pen. We'll compare it to some of my other 9019s. I do have quite a few, and I do enjoy all of them, which is not something I can say about a lot of other pens that I have, but you know, this meets the criteria that I like for the great pen. Number one, it's extremely affordable price. Number two, all the nibs have been excellent in my experience, and there's a lot of variety of nibs. You have the Bobby Ground nibs, which we put into the black 9019. So that makes it a great pen in my estimation of a great pen, and I enjoy holding it and writing with it. I have many of them inked up. Another thing that I don't do with a lot of pen models that I collect. So with that, we're going to let the pen rotate around a little bit so the kitty can say hello. So we said it's a big pen, but it's not a heavy pen. The weight is just about right. Here's the weights of the pen. The little metal bits are all nice. The plating is done well. That engraved center band does a good job at telling you what the model is and who makes the pen, and then also branded on the clip. I like the design. Yes, it's reminiscent of another pen, but almost every pen is reminiscent of another pen. And most pens that aren't reminiscent of another pen, people don't like because they don't like the way it looks because they're used to other pens. The cap comes off in a little over 2 turns, a little bit more like 2 1/4. And as we see, it fits well in the hand. Like I said, I like it. That's a really big, beefy section. We give you those dimensions for those that may not be familiar. And of course, it has that great Heartbeat nib, which I really like. And yes, you can put the cap at the end of the barrel. It posts fairly well. Doesn't change the balance that much. In fact, it feels fine. Again, I'm not a poster, but a lot of times when you're out and about with your pens and you need to put the cap someplace, putting it on the end of the barrel is a suitable place. As long as it stays there, you'll know where it is. If you place it someplace, or I sometimes put it in my pen case when I'm writing if I don't want to post, but that's just me. So with that, we're going to find an ink for this pen and see how that medium Heartbeat nib puts down ink. Stay tuned. So the other aspect of the 9019 that has made it a great pen, that black O-ring probably should have been clear, so you didn't see it, but that's not significant. But this is a huge converter, branded Jinhao, works extremely well. And right now, Jinhao's the only one using this large converter. That's unusual because a lot of times, these are made by maybe subcontractors, third parties, but Jinhao has really maintained a monopoly on it. It's screwed into the section, which is another thing that's unusual and very high-end and nice. It's like about twice the size of a normal converter, and there's no reason why a lot of other pen companies couldn't follow suit, but so far they haven't, which I'm quite surprised about. But sometimes surprises are good. So here are a few of my 9019s just to compare it to the new one that's joined the family. Translucent green, translucent red. Yes, was this black one that I recently did a video on. Here's a clear one with the converter, and here's a clear one with that great Bobby Flex nib that's eyedropper fill. So you can put a lot of ink in this pen if you want to do that. And it works well as an eyedropper. But I'm just impressed. They also make this in solid colors, but yeah, we're in the translucent part of the family with these. The other thing that makes this a great pen for me is all of these are inked up. Well, this one will be inked up shortly. And I enjoy writing with them. Yes, they're big pens. As you can see, I alternated the arrangement here so they would fit a little bit better on this pen tray. They do have a challenge with some pen cases and other ways because of their size. They're the biggest pen that I have. Of course, in the 9019, I'm going to use a new ink. Yes, I've been buying Birmingham Pen Company inks. Here's what it looks like on a paper towel. It's really, really dark. I guess really like a dark purple. And here's what it looks like on Temu River paper using a glass nib pen. There the color looks a little bit better that you can see it. It's just very, very dark. Black Pearl is going to go into another new pen shortly. So let me start out by just saying this is an amazingly wet nib. I mean, my other Heartbeat nib is fairly wet too. This one puts that one to shame. It could be the Birmingham ink that I'm using. That ink is fairly lubricated and has a very good flow to it, but even considering this lays down a ton of ink. No pressure required, glides across the page. My faith in Heartbeat nibs is renewed. Not that it was ever in question, but this has certainly moved that bar pretty high. So I'll enjoy this pen. Ink, I don't know, not so much. Doesn't have any of the qualities that I saw in the website when I bought it, but that's not unusual. Ink does vary between pen and paper. It's the other 9019 that I have with a Heartbeat nib, also medium. It's this green translucent one. I have a Trim Wolf on Scene ink, which has some glitter in it, but as you can see, it's certainly not as wet as the Birmingham Pen Company Moon Jellyfish in this medium nib, but I think this nib is just wetter in general, no matter what the ink is. Let's do a little close-up and see if we can see anything interesting in the ink. As you can see, the Alphonsine does have a little glitter in it. The Moon Jellyfishes doesn't seem to have much of anything. So we reached the conclusion of this video review, and hopefully you found it interesting, entertaining, worth your watching. So this pen, like all 9019s, is great. This nib is phenomenal. Say no more. I mean, it's just great. I wouldn't call it an everyday writer. It's certainly a letter pen because of the way it puts down ink. You may have to wait a bit for that page to dry after you've put down your words, but, you know, it's nice to have a pen that lays down ink like that. Some of you don't like wet nibs, so stay away from this pen, stay away from the Heartbeat nib. But trust me, you're missing out on a unique writing experience that might be worth a try. So with that, I'd like to thank everyone for watching. I hope this video found everyone safe, healthy, and happy, having fun with your pens, enjoying putting down some ink. Ugh, I do. So with that, we've reached the end. And we will say bye-bye. I have a new pen coming today.